carciofi, which carciofi is essentially artichoke. And I have all my ingredients over here ready to go. I got my pan heating up, and I got my water ready for the pasta, and I've even got a little bread. I'm going to do a little garlic bread over here later. To start off, I've got about 3 pounds of ground hamburger meat right here. I've got my mise en place of onions, mushrooms, and bell pepper, and I've even got a little black olive sliced up over here to give it the little Sicilian taste to it. And Puttanesca sauce, it's actually named Puttanesca, actually means the whore, and this sauce was made on the streets back in the beginning of civilization, back in the 1500s, 1400s in Italy. And it's a little bit spicy, and got a lot of tomato sauce to it. And I'm going to start off with throwing the hamburger meat in here at nice and hot temperature. And I'll let it sizzle up here. Just break that up real good. And season it up with a little salt and pepper here. And we'll let it cook down. We're back to the meat that's been reducing here in the pan, cooking them for a little bit. And just to let you know that when you're cooking your hamburger meat, you don't really need any oil in the pan because there's so much grease that comes out of cooking for the hamburger meat. I also got my tomato sauce ready over here, and so the next step, I'm gonna throw in a little cooking lime here, 2 buck chuck, good stuff, and get that cooking, get that reducing a little bit, and you want to have a higher heat now, and let that cook down a little bit. And then once the meat's cooked a little bit more, and all the flavors from the wine and the reduction of the meats, the grease and all the good stuff has reduced, I'm going to start throwing in all of our ingredients. And for those of you that don't like all the grease and the goodness that's left over after the meat that's cooking, you can actually strain the meat and then put it back in the pan after you're done. But I like to leave all those delicious flavors right in the pan. Now the pan's been brought back up to heat, and the meat's sizzling and all those good juices down there, we can start to throw in the ingredients. And I start off with my red onions, and I probably just put in about 2 little handfuls here. From here, the onions are going to cook down and absorb all these delicious flavors in here. You can now start throwing in your bell peppers, and put in a little bit of green here, a little bit of red. Now you can throw in your mushrooms. Shaking those in there. About a cup of sliced black olives here. Toss that in there to get a little bit of the Mediterranean, Sicilian flavor. Now we're going to go with the carciofis, the artichoke. And here's a canned artichoke heart that you can pretty much get anywhere. Toss that in there. And a little bit of garlic here. I got some chopped up garlic right here. A little good flavoring in here. Probably good for now. I always adjust the seasonings and the flavor later on in the cooking process. I mean, look at all those ingredients right there. I mean, it's just, hungry. I'm getting hungry staring at it. Toss it on up. We can add our tomato sauce now. Let's just see how much we can get in there. Make sure it gets all around inside there. Just let it sit for about 25-30 minutes, and you taste the flavoring later, and you can adjust all the flavorings. Actually, the Italian secret is just a little bit of sugar to cut all the acid out of the tomatoes, and Probably want to adjust the flavors, you know, after it's sat or cooked in the pot for, like I said, about 25 to 30 minutes. And I'll turn down the heat a little bit, so let that happen, and we'll check on it again later. Now for the garlic bread, it's a pretty quick and simple procedure. I've got a baguette right here, a little slice of baguette, and I've got my dry spices here. I like to use garlic salt and an Italian herb mix, which has thyme, a little dry basil, and some other, maybe a little bit of ground up rosemary in there as well. I prefer using dry herbs for my garlic bread and everything, but if you want, you could also use chopped up fresh garlic as well. And so you got your bread, your dry herbs here, and of course your butter. You can't do without your butter when you're talking about garlic bread. So I got my bread here, and I'm just going to slice it on a thin bias. Get some butter on in here. Just spread some of that on there, thank goodness. Now we're all set to go, and since the butter's on there, just spread a little of the dry herbs, and because you got the butter on there, these herbs are all going to stick on there. Put that down, and now we can just place these on a baking sheet. And I have my oven over here that I've preheated to 350, and we're going to throw those in there for probably 5 to 10 minutes. You want to check on the color. You know, some people like theirs darker, some people like theirs lighter. But I'm probably going to throw these in there for maybe 6 minutes maximum. Throw it on in there and close the door, and our pasta sauce is reducing well. All the flavors are mixing together, and I've got my boiling water just about ready here, and I'm going to throw the pasta in. So let's wait for the bread to cook, and let's let the pasta sauce cook a little bit more. While my bread was baking, I threw my linguine in to cook. I had to pull my bread out a little earlier because the linguine took about 10 minutes to cook. And here's the beautiful bread, the finished product right over here. And I've got the sauce. It's reduced. It's looking really good right now. I'm just so excited to see how it tastes and how good it goes with the pasta and the garlic bread I made. And I've got a little setup over here already. I've got a Chianti ready for the meal. Chianti goes great with any Italian meal, and I'd have to say any Italian Puttanesca sauce or any spaghetti that you're going to eat. I think it goes great with it. I've got some grated Parmigiano Reggiano right here, and I've also got a little bit of butter. And if you know Italians, they love their wine, they love their cheese, and they also love butter right on top of their pasta. Now I'm going to pull my spaghetti out over here. Get myself a little bit of the sauce. Get myself some of those artichokes. Throw that on there. Top it with a little Reggiano. Get ourselves a little bit of butter right on the top there. Put a little bread right there on the end, and I've got my wine, and I'm ready to eat. And hope you guys enjoyed watching me make this wonderful sauce for you. Remember, you can be creative, throw in whatever you want in the sauce, and one of the many things I love about making a Puttanesca or any kind of marinara sauce is that you can make it ahead of time if your schedule's too crazy. You're a student, you're a mother, you're a father, things get busy, you can make this ahead of time and throw it in the fridge, and it should be good for about 3-4 days, maybe almost the week. But you know, you use the good old smell test to make sure everything's good. And I'm going to enjoy my lovely meal right now, so I'll talk to you guys all later. Take care.